Welcome back to another another episode of Go Long Live with Barry Long 2. I am Barry Long the second. Don't forget the two. I'm not the first. I'm not the third. I am the second. But shout out to them. That's my father and my son. We are live here on today's California.com, today's Canada.com. Welcome all the Canadian folks out here, as well as CoachellaValley.com. Let me go ahead and bring in my main man, Sage. I was about to go buy some sage because it really clears out the bad energy in the room when you burn some sage. Well, what's going on, Sage? How you doing today, boss?
Hey, how's it going, Barry? The second, not the first, not the third.
Yeah, and people started stopping me out. I was at Agua Caliente checking out the games yesterday with KCLB and TK from the radio, and a couple people stopped me and said, "Hey, man, you're not the first, you're not the third, you're the second." So it's starting to stick. So shout out to those listeners as well. Eugene Sanchez is my guy, along with Adam. So today we're going to pass out a $25 gift card to Dick's Sporting Goods. Y'all can use it. Youth sports is now just getting going in full swing. Since the pandemic happened, it's been on and off, but we finally have youth sports that are going to continuously play out. So if you want a $25 gift certificate to Dick's Sporting Goods, all you have to do is have the best comment. Simply have the best comment. And we know you might be in Canada. We got some people listening in the Philippines, Malaysia, other places. We'll figure out how to ship it to you. We'll figure out how to internationally ship it to you. But yeah, we will definitely get to that later on in the show. Of course, we're going to have the meme of the day. We're also going to discuss that game yesterday, that heart-jerking game yesterday between the Washington football team and the New York football Giants. But before we get into all that, let's talk to my main man, Captain Defense. Now, you all know Captain Defense has been here before. He is the Ravens super fan in the Hall of Fame. Here's a picture of Captain Defense right there with my head coach, Coach Harbaugh. And I mean, if you guys see him, he's always wearing, his tactical, his warrior gear, ready to go to war with the purple camo pants. Love Captain Defense. We welcome in Captain Defense right here, live from Baltimore, Maryland. How you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good, pretty upbeat considering.
Okay, definitely. Now, let's talk about that Monday night game. That Monday night game was a little bit difficult to watch for me. I know it was for you. It was up and down. We had the chances to win. We just could not put it away. But what were your takeaways as far as the defense? Because the secondary gave up a lot of yards. The secondary looked a little bit shaky at times. How do you feel about the secondary?
Well, to me, Wink Mondale is blitz heavy. If you're going to blitz, you leave your secondary out of the drive. And if you don't get there, then it's almost one-on-one. So the thing is, he was blitzing, but he wasn't making any progress. And Darren Waller, and I said, I'm willing to concede Darren Waller his 100 yards, but I'm going to stop everybody else. And a couple of young guys got exposed in the secondary. And, Darren Waller was running free, which I said he was going to get his touches. But everybody else, we couldn't let them run wild. We pretty well stopped their running game. But the pass rush and the blitz, you live by the blitz, you die. If you don't get there, Marlon Humphrey can hang with one-on-one. But, a couple other people can't hold their man for that long in the secondary when you blitz.
Yeah, I was telling Sage here on the episode following immediately after the game that, you don't know what you've got until it's gone. And really, that was what it felt like with Marcus Peters, because we were kind of deep in the secondary coming into the season with guys with backups. You were like, oh, yeah, we're going to be fine. We got Peters on one side, Marlon Humphrey on the other side, put Tavon Young in the slot. But once Marcus Peters went down, it was like, man, that side is kind of wide open on the side. We had guys step up like Westry and other guys, young guys that came in. But, man, it was pretty tough. And like you said, Darren Waller is going to go off. But we got to stop the other guys. We can't let Hunter Renfrow, can't let Josh Jacobs, the running back, get off. So we lost another guy yesterday, potentially for a while, Ronnie Stanley. How do you feel about the O-line holding up?
Well, the O-line, as an understatement, they didn't play well. And everybody saw Villanueva. Oh. He's going to have problems with speed rusher, but maybe he's going back to left tackle this game, which is his natural position. And maybe he'll play better, against Kansas City. But the offensive line, in other words, I knew the offensive line would be a problem, but I didn't know it would be this much of a problem.
Yeah, Villanueva looked bad.
First game.
Villanueva looked really bad. His first game as a Raven. Of course, we know he's a Steeler. So the Raven and me watching the game, I was just like, man, is he trying to sabotage us? Like, what is going on? What is going on? Now, Lamar Jackson, coming into this season, they talked about how he was going to progress in the passing game. He looked really good in the training camp. You said that you believe that he was going to take that next step in the passing game as well. Now, Chris Collinsworth, or no, who's the Monday night guy? Brian Greasy. Brian Greasy really broke down how Lamar Jackson's base of his body is kind of he's getting a wider base when he's throwing the ball, so he has more accuracy and he has more power behind that throw. But we did see him fumble. Now, are you thinking that, because he's got so much more responsibility now that the running backs they have been in and out, shuffling in and out, we've got new running backs, you think it's too much on Lamar's shoulders, or do you think that he can really step up to the plate and carry this team the entire season?
Well, I think that handoff is something you have to work on, because Tyson doesn't know Lamar's going to leave it in there, because Lamar leaves it in there for a long time, and then he pulls it out. Ingram had that rhythm. So Tyson, he's not used to it. He didn't know if Lamar's pulling it out. Do I grab it or no? And it happened a couple of times. But I think, I'm willing to give him this a national TV, Williams' first game. Let's see what happened going forward against Kansas City. Because my question is, when you got a tough schedule, you'll find out what you're all about.
Absolutely.
You'll know week 2 what kind of team you got. You'll find out real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Sure. and because and you make a great point with the RPO handoff. It's really hard. It's something that chemistry has to really be developed between the running back and the quarterback. And we haven't really seen anybody get it down like Mark Ingram had it with Lamar Jackson. That was an exciting little run that they had together. Wish you had Mark Ingram in a time like now. But so it's just
what a time not to have him.
Yeah, for sure. Now Sage is a Raiders fan. He was very excited about the way that the game transpired and ended. Just a wonderful, wonderful win for them. How do you feel about watching the Raiders win at their home stadium?
I have one question for both of y'all. What are the Ravens paying Willie Snead to miss that play at the end of the overtime? Come on, man.
I thought he did. I thought he missed it on purpose. It went right through his hands, but there was a bullet from Derek Carr.
Well, Willie Snead, you're getting 35 catches out of him, probably. Right. He's not a game breaker, and every now and then you need a key third down, you'll find him. But it was a great game, and I love the crowd and the atmosphere, because I got a lot of Raiders fans with attempting to text me all game.
Absolutely. Now
but it was a good atmosphere.
Now we got a tough game coming up on Sunday night. I know you'll be there. You're gonna be
live.
I'll
be there.
You can be live in your tactical gear and your whole costume get up. You wear that a lot, huh? How many times a week do you wear that costume?
Well, sometimes 3 or 4. I read it from kindergarten kids. Then tomorrow I'm doing a parade, and then I have it on Sunday. And then next week I got a fun event, and then I got a roost function. So I'm always doing something all the time, 2 or 3 times a week. But on the weekends, I've been to 4 funerals, a couple of bar mitzvahs. Diehard Ravens fans.
Oh, that's awesome.
They get buried in that Raven gear. So really,
respect.
That's serious.
Respect.
You know what? I think I want to get buried in Ravens gear too, but maybe like 60, 70 years from now.
maybe, probably, yeah.
Now we got a tough game coming up this Sunday night. Kansas City. Who you got, and why? And why do you think will win? Because I know you got the Ravens.
The only way, there's a lot of ifs.
Okay.
There's a lot of ifs. First thing, and as I was telling them, we got to win time of possession by a huge margin.
Absolutely.
We got to win. And we got to run the ball. And I'm telling Lamar, your first 2 reads ain't there, you take off. Lamar needs over 100 yards rushing himself.
Absolutely.
Right? Because keep Mahomes on the sideline. And if the game's in the 40s, we lost. But if we keep it in the 20, 24-8, we can hang with them. But the key is time of possession. Don't do like he did in the Raider game. It's like, what happened to Tyson Williams in the second half? Where was he at?
He was gone, non-existent.
Sage is a Raider fan, so don't let him.
No, but he's great though. He did have a point in the first half. We saw production in the second half. We didn't see him at all. And a lot of fantasy owners or they had a lot of hope first half, second half. They're already at halftime. They're on Twitter bragging that they have the next guy, and then the next half he doesn't play. It's like they jinxed him.
Right. Yeah. Roman do that, but in this game, If we run the ball 40 times, then so be it. In other words, this is not the game to prove that Lamar Jackson is a passer. I'm running the ball, and I'm running it, and I'm running it, and I'm there in Kansas City. Stop that running game. And then we got to throw a few passes. That's fine. But we need to be a run heavy, and Lamar need to get over 100 yards rushing.
And now with that secondary looking a little bit shaky, and you know how much we love to run man defense, and Patrick Mahomes, if we decide to go zone, Patrick Mahomes will destroy the zone. Tyreek Hill will go and sit in those little pockets. So will Travis Kelce. And, you know, with our secondary looking a little thin, how do you feel we're going to hold up against Pat Mahomes in the passing game?
Well, the part that I don't understand, last year I says, we'll stop Kelce or Tyreek Hill, but I'm not letting both of them beat him. If Tyreek Hill goes off for 200 yards, that's fine. But I'm not giving him 200 yards and Kelce. We got to decide, pick our poison instead of letting both of them, you know, and the linebackers got get a little depth because, you know, Kelce works that intermediate area, and Kelce's a smart guy. He knows how to set down in the area, you know, when teams playing zone. So that's going to be key. We need to pressure Mahomes.
Who's the poison?
This is the game.
Who's the poison? Kelce or Tyreek Hill?
Huh?
Who's the poison you pick? Travis Kelce or Tyreek Hill?
Yeah, who would you rather have us go off on against us? Would we rather have
I'd rather contain Tyreek Hill because Tyreek Hill is a home run hitter. Kelce is a nickel and dime guy down the field. So I'm not giving up the home run. I'm taking a slow death. I'm taking a slow death.
All right, well, Captain Defense, we appreciate your time for joining us, sir. And we'll talk again.
Appreciate you, boss. That was a pleasure.
Captain Defense, man, he's a legend in Baltimore. My family, they love every time I get him on the show. So we are live on today's California.com, CoachellaValley.com, as well as today's Canada.com. We got a few comments. Sage, we got to figure out who's going to be the best comment. Wins this $25 gift certificate to Dick's Sporting Goods. Maria, get a comment. She says nothing. Shout out to her. Alex Perez waves. It says, brothers, good job. Gets us the thumbs up. And then Galisa Henry, she says yes. So right now, as far as Alex Perez is probably in the lead right now, right?
I'll probably say I'll give it the yes.
All right. Now let's get into this. Now memes. I want to do the meme of the day before we get into this analysis of this Washington and New York game. Now this meme is not sports related. I just saw this. It came from a guy named Terrence Williams. It said there's actually a town named Sandwich in Massachusetts, and there are literally sandwich cars labeled "Sandwich Police." You gotta love that. No, I mean, I like to think that I'm a part of the Sandwich Police. If I see somebody that's making a sandwich and it doesn't look delicious, then I'm the first one to say something. So shout out to the Sandwich Police. But that's got to be terrible. Like, you know, I went through all this training to become a police officer, and now I'm a part of the Sandwich Police. But shout out to Terrence Williams for sending us that meme. Now, like we said, you can get your comments posted right here on today's California.com, today's Canada.com, and CoachellaValley.com, and we will see, Sage will see who is the best comment. This one is from Jalisa Salinas Ibarra. She says, saludos from India. I'm out here in India.
Oh, that's my area. I love India.
That's our area, man. We're live in Coachella Valley, and you know, we love all of our listeners, supporters from around the world, but it's nothing like supporters right here live and local. Man, today they had the procession of Corporal Hunter Lopez today. He drove past Amelia Earhart, John Glenn Middle School, as well as La Quinta High School. Just really want to send our condolences out to the family once again. We've done it before, but we really want to and salute to him for his sacrifice and for his service. Now let's get into this Washington game that happened last night. It was an up and down game. You know, at first the Giants came out looking really good on the first drive. They scored. Washington hung tough. Taylor Heineke hung very tough. We saw some great plays by him. We saw one mistake by him that almost ended up leading to the end of the game. New York Giants come down. They kick a field goal. They take a 2-point lead. The Washington football team orchestrates a drive. They come down. They get the field goal kicker in position. What does he do? Hopkins, he misses the first field goal, but Dexter Lawrence jumps off sides, and they get another opportunity 5 yards closer. And even though Hopkins looked like he almost missed that second kick, the kick went through, and the Washington football team won at the end of regulation. It was a walk-off field goal victory for a team that that has really a lot of questions on the offensive side of the football. And we were kind of trying to see whether this guy Taylor Heineke was going to be ready. Taylor Heineke stepped up to the plate, in my opinion. Now I am from Norfolk, Virginia Beach area, 757, and Taylor Heineke went to college at Old Dominion University in Norfolk, Virginia. When they first got a football team, and a lot of people were excited about this kid, and people were going out to the field to go watch this kid play. He ended up with leading the conference in touchdown passes, in yards. I mean, in most statistical categories for a quarterback, and it was just amazing to watch him, develop that program. And then he goes off to the NFL draft, doesn't get drafted, and bounces around from a couple teams. He played with Carolina for a little bit, Then he went to Washington, got thrown into his first NFL start in a playoff game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who went on to win the Super Bowl. And and the questions were out there this year. He was going to be the backup to Ryan Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick goes down. We're asking questions. You and I are even asking questions. Do they go out and get Cam Newton, or did they stick with Taylor Heineke? And a lot of people felt like Cam Newton was the answer. Well, after watching last night's game and seeing this kid go through a little bit of adversity during the game, I feel like this guy is the answer. And I like Taylor Heineke moving forward for the Washington football team. What say you?
I'm not with him moving forward on the team past this season. So they're going to get a new quarterback. It's temporarily. He needs to show a lot more if he's going to be that guy for the Redskins, because obviously Fitzpatrick was already ahead of him. So the battle has already been won on that side. So that's not a good start, especially if you're not a younger QB. Like, you're starting to get older now. So to me, like, you got to step up, or you're just not made it. You're just not making it out as a starting QB in the league. You might just be a backup.
So moving forward after this year, you're saying that Taylor Heineke is not the answer, but you're thinking that even this year, even during the season, they need to go ahead out and make a.
Well, they're going to operate at this point. They should get. I still think they should get Cam, but they're going to operate in terms of they think Taylor can get to the playoffs, and I disagree. I don't think he's the answer. If anything, we saw more answers about Daniel Jones last night than I know about Taylor. Like, Daniel Jones should have won the game last night. His team let him down. And and the ref blew the call. I hated that. I hated that flag so much. It was really it was that flag that just stings. And that's why
you're referring to that long touchdown run that was negated by the
long touchdown run Daniel Jones had.
And Daniel Jones, he's been known to use his legs in certain times of the game effectively, and it was a very good run, and it was negated by a holding penalty that really should not have been called. Kind of just really turns your stomach towards the NFL. We see this all the time. It seems like every time somebody scores a touchdown, the first thing you do before you can celebrate, you have to make sure there's no flag, and that's the one thing I hate about the NFL. But yeah, you're right. Taylor Heineke went 34-46, 336 yards, 2 TDs, and 1 interception. That was just a fluke interception at the end of the game where he just made a bonehead mistake. But Daniel Jones, to your credit, Daniel Jones, 22 of 32, 249, 1 touchdown. I think the most important stat for Daniel Jones is the 0 interceptions, because Daniel Jones has been known to fumble the ball, throw an interception, and be loose with ball security, and that's gotten him in trouble in the past.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, we saw some really good, some good flashes from him running the ball. He ran the ball for 95 yards. So Daniel Jones, 9 carries for 95 yards and a touchdown. Daniel Jones looked good on both aspects of offense. And Saquon Barkley, although he didn't have the greatest numbers in the world, he definitely was effective in a lot of different aspects of the game, blocking. He was kind of effective rushing the ball, 13 rushes for 57 yards, averaging over 4 yards a carry. He had some really good flashes, and you want to see that Saquon Barkley continue to trend up, because, of course, we know he had the devastating injury last season. He's come back, and we didn't know what he was going to look like, but I think that he looks pretty good. Now, the O-line also held up against a pretty good Washington football team front seven. And I thought, coming into this game, it was going to be they were going to have no chance. And the O-line really stepped up, and it impressed me a lot against that devastating Washington defense.
Yeah, that defense did not look good. I'd be really concerned if I'm a Washington football fan.
Especially on the back end.
It did not look good, and that's usually what's the backbone of what you think your hopes and prayers are for this team this year. So
Absolutely.
I'm definitely concerned. You still got stud players all around, but why is it not working out? And we'll have to keep our eye on it. But I think the Washington football team seasons is already trending into a top five pick already this year.
Yeah, I mean, beating the Giants is not saying too much. I mean, both these teams are not projected to be the best in their division.
Right.
You never know with this NFC East or NFC least, as a lot of people like to call it. It's a long way away from when they used to call it the NFC Beast, when all the teams were good.
Right.
But it'll be interesting to see, moving forward, whether or not Philadelphia does well, if Dallas can continue to look as good as they did against the Buccaneers. We'll see. But yeah, I'm just really, really excited about this division playing out, and it being we won't know about this division until the end of the season, in my opinion. So we'll see. We got some good comments. Jaleesa Henry is going crazy over here with the comments. Shout out to her. But let's get John T. Ingle. He says pound it up and good job. Jaleesa Henry says that hurts. Sage Jaleesa Salinas Ibarra from India says Sage over Rage. LOL.
I love it.
Is that something that you say a lot?
My name rhymes with a lot of things, man.
Yeah, Sage.
I'm on the page.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Sorry, I don't want to speak too much. Sorry, it's a sports show. I don't rap on here, but
yeah. I mean, yeah. You
still go
viral. You got bars. Sage got bars. All right, so let's talk these games this weekend. We got a lot of games that we got to pick through. Now we can only pick 5 games because we don't have too much time. I wanted to pick the games that are relevant to our West Coast offense. The first game I got is Raiders versus the Steelers. Now, how do you feel about that? And give us a reason why you think your Raiders are going to win over the Steelers, because I know you do.
Raiders are just one of those great teams. Steelers, I don't have them as a good team. I think they have great receivers, and that's what stands out to a lot of fantasy owners. And they got the best, arguably the best or second best defensive player in the NFL. And they have actually a good defense, but
yeah,
Big Ben is what's holding them back. You got to get a new QB, and they got to move on from him. They need to revamp the culture, and that's why we have to get a new QB. You're bringing in, you got to hope that that QB brings in and keeps the culture either at the level that they had it with Big Ben in previous years, or his own version of success, however that may be.
Yeah, because the last couple of years, Big Ben has not even been able to throw a pass beyond 13 yards. And you've got big play receivers and Claypool, and Juju Smith-Schuster's going to go over the middle and catch that third down, that 3rd and 6, and move the chains. But you've got some big play guys on the outside like Washington. And then now that you got Najee Harris, a legitimate running threat, and a guy who can catch the ball out of the backfield, I think that, it is time to move on from Big Ben. Despite what they say about Big Ben's arm showing a little bit more flashes this year than it did in the previous seasons. Now, what I would like to see for the Redskins or for the Steelers is the former Washington Redskins quarterback, Dwayne Haskins, who is now their backup, who is projected to be a top quarterback in this league. I love a good comeback story. Having him behind Ben Roethlisberger, kind of learning a little bit of leadership skills, because he has the physical ability. But the problem with Dwayne Haskins was what was going on up here. So I feel like if he sits behind, Big Ben Roethlisberger, and he learns a little bit of leadership skills and just, how to be more responsible as far as being the face of a franchise, I feel like that would be a great comeback story, and it would be cheap for them, a cheap answer for them. They don't have to go out and sign a big free agent. They don't have to go out and spend a top draft pick on a quarterback when you've got a guy like Dwayne Haskins, who all he has to do is step into the role of who he was supposed to be and reach his potential.
I'm a fan of Dwayne Haskins. I want him to succeed.
But you don't think it's going to happen?
I'm a Steelers fan. I'm hoping we spend a 1st-round pick on a QB next year. I hope, if anything, you kind of wish they went for it this year, but then you don't get them. You'll get Big Ben mad, and I think that they were like they didn't want to risk it to save that relationship for one more year. But if I was them, I would have already pulled the trigger, because the team is already trending into a different direction where they need to know who's that guy because Big Ben it's just father time.
Yeah, it really is.
It's just all father time.
Now you got the Steelers winning or the Raiders winning this game?
Yeah, I got the Raiders.
I've got the Steelers. The Raiders playing on the road, going back east. I've got the Steelers winning that game. Now the next game, San Francisco, Philadelphia. Who do you have and why?
Ooh, this is a good one. I'm actually going with Philadelphia, and I love Jalen Hurts. I'm actually a bigger believer now. The more I'm watching him, the more I watch the film. It was so impressive, and you got to be happy for it if you're an Eagles fan. This guy, you didn't need to go get Watson. Just keep Hurts, keep your draft capital, build a dynasty. He can win. I believe he has the potential to be a quarterback that can win a Super Bowl, and that's what's most important. That's where you gotta ask yourself. It's more important if you have it's not always important to have a top 5 QB or top 10, but can that top 15 QB win you a Super Bowl? Can he get the job done? Can he make the passes that you feel comfortable with making, the fourth quarter, 2-minute drill? You just they just score, so you gotta run it back on them. Can he get the job done? And I believe that Hurts will be that guy that can make some special plays.
If Joe Flacco can win a Super Bowl, Jalen Hurts can win a Super Bowl. So I definitely agree with you there. I'm picking Philadelphia as well. San Francisco traveling on the road, 10 o'clock game.
I love that Raider comment, by the way, too. I saw that.
Yeah. That Raider comment. Yeah, shout out to her. She might have won the gift cards to Dick's Sporting Goods. All right, Rams at Colts. we got 3 minutes left, so let's keep it to a minute each game. We got 3 games left. Rams at Colts. Who you got and why?
I got Rams.
The Rams. Yeah. The Colts, although you've got Carson Wentz playing now, you still got a good defense, got a pretty good running game. I just like the way the Rams are playing. I feel like they're playing with more passion now that they know that they've got a signal caller who can go out and win the game for them. A guy who's tough as nails, tougher than a $2 steak in Matt Stafford. A guy that can call plays with Sean McVay. I feel like this team is really going to surprise a lot of people. And hell, they might win this division this season. So I got the Rams against the Colts as well. Now, Dallas at the Chargers. This is going to be a great game, in my opinion. Who do you got and why?
Dallas.
You got Dallas?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, why do you got Dallas? Because of the way they played against Tom Brady?
I mean, it's one reason alone, and that's because it's Dak Prescott.
Wow.
You got to love the guy, man. The guy just flat out balled out. I felt like there were some missed opportunities without Zach Martin on the offensive line to really open up Zeke's game, because that's what really happened is they didn't have the guy that made that hole. In the NFL, the holes aren't that big, and that's what people don't realize. When they're going full speed, you got to create that little separation, and Cowboys are more just maintaining, and that's where – and they were bringing the pressure. They wanted them to pass. They wanted Dak to say, like, we're going to test you, bro. We want to see if you're gonna come back from this injury, and that's the thing about sports is we're not gonna take it easy from you when you come back from injury. Don't come back on the field unless you're ready to play, because people are going for. And in football, like, come on now, I know
you're injured, yeah.
We're gonna make it the ESPN, the ABC, like the real, like, we try to present it, but in the field,
yeah.
And I was on the field. I used to work for the Cardinals, and I used to be on the field. I used to be right there, Arizona Cardinal games. I was there. I saw Jerry Jones, like Peyton Manning, get to hear him, and it's a whole different game than where you watch it on TV, because you're hearing Tony Romo speak, and he's speaking some real good game. But on the football field, like, that language is a lot
different, a lot
as
more
clean, and not as TV appropriate as we.
For sure. Now you said, Zach Martin is going to be back from COVID, which is going to be a really good boost for that offensive line. I just really like this Chargers team, and I feel like this Chargers team is being underappreciated this season. And I'm picking the Chargers to win for one reason. You picking the Dallas Cowboys to win for one reason. That's Dak Prescott. I'm picking the Chargers to win for one reason, and that is Justin Herbert. This kid is the truth. He's top 5 in this league. And if he continues to play the way he played last season and the way that he started off this season, I like this guy to be an MVP in the next 3 years. So I'm picking the Chargers for Justin Herbert. Herbert, don't let me down. All right, one last game to pick: Kansas City at Baltimore. This is our Sunday night game. Now, of course, I'm not even gonna. I don't even have to say who I'm going for. You all know I'm going for the Ravens. And despite it seeming like I'm just a homer, I'm not just a homer. I really feel like Kansas City is going to take the Ravens lightly, and I feel like they're going to have some issues with some of the fronts that defensive coordinator Wink Martindale is going to throw at Patrick Mahomes. Sometimes we'll run man, sometimes we'll run zone, and I feel like Lamar Jackson is determined to make up for his mistakes last week. Now, who do you have?
Yeah, man. I got, like I told VJ on VS Best in Sports Network, I only have the Chiefs losing 3 games this year, and I'm not picking one of them to be the Ravens.
That's good, man. That's awesome, man. It's okay. We'll see. We're gonna talk Monday. We're gonna definitely figure it out. Now, who do you think wins the $25 gift card to Dick's Sporting Goods? I'm gonna say I'm going. My money's on Jaleesa. I'm sorry.
You gotta give it to her. She did good.
You gotta give it to her.
Good comments. So today was actually if the comments say like this, we might have to give out some multiple gift cards.
Yeah, we will. And
we will. If we got it like that, we might have to make that happen.
Yeah, and I spoke with Craig Campbell from CoachellaValley.com just before the show. We've got a $25 gift certificate to Desert Beer Company. We will be giving that out on Monday. So stay tuned.
Own that too. They're good people too. You guys got to go down there. Like, oh my,
absolutely,
amazing,
a wonderful brewery. All right, so we're out of here, man. We're out of time, and we just want to thank everybody for tuning in on today's California.com, CoachellaValley.com, and today's Canada.com. We want to thank Captain Defense for joining us, and we're very appreciative. We're going to give out some more stuff next week. Got some sponsors to announce next week, and we're going to keep this ball rolling forward. Enjoy the football. It's going to be a wonderful weekend of football. And remember these 3 things moving forward. FMI, stay focused, stay motivated, stay inspired. And remember, you can do anything because you're capable of anything. Shout out to you, Sage. Great show, man.
Great show, man. And make sure to go follow me at Twitter at @SageDup or add me on Facebook, Sage Alvarez. I'll add you as a friend.
All right. There it is. And add me at Facebook at Barry Long II or on Twitter at Radio Barry Long or on Instagram at Barry Long _2. We'll see you on Monday.